Hi, I'm very excited to share with you a new example using GraphCMS with Next.js, NextAuth.js, GraphQL itself, GraphQL request, Tailwind, SWR, and so much more. So what we have here, you can head on to this URL yourself and give this a try, but this is a simple user-generated to-do list application. So if we go to sign in, we can sign in with an account. This account, if it already exists, it will sign you in, but if not, this form will, in the background, just create a new account with GraphCMS. And it's not an account that you would sign into GraphCMS with. This is a model that has an email, password, and we'll explore what all of this looks like and how it works. So let's just log in here and we'll create an account and we'll add a password. And once we are logged in, the application will show a list of to-dos. So this is the example. This is using SWR. I understand not everybody can kind of use GraphCMS or use GraphQL on the front end and immediately adopt GraphQL. So this is kind of a hybrid approach. We're using GraphQL and GraphCMS to store the data and retrieve the data, but what we're using on the front end is SWR to inside of our API routes to kind of handle communicating all of the data we need backwards and forwards. So let's add a few to-dos, and with those added, we can then toggle these as done by clicking the checkbox, and we can obviously toggle them back as well. If there's something in here that we don't like, maybe we need to update the description of these, we can update that just by clicking on this, and this will reveal a input form. If we no longer want it to do in our list, maybe we don't need to do it anymore, we can remove that from the list as well. So I'll leave one as complete here and obviously one as incomplete. Then we also have the ability inside of my account to edit a short description. So inside of here, we'll just add a short bio. I'll just add some filler text as hello world. So now we've saved that. There's no kind of confirmation here, but by all means, feel free to add that. If we go back to the home, we've got our list of to-dos. Now notice that we have GraphQL is awesome here, and this isn't complete. So why don't we head on into the CMS and update this so when we come back, it will be updated. So this is demonstrating how you can create to-dos that are scoped to you. If we log in as a different user, they'll no longer see my to-dos, they'll see their own and be able to edit their own. So now let's head on over to GraphCMS and see how all of this is kind of plumbed and plugged in together. So first up, we have the NextAuth user model. This has an email, password, the bio, and that all-important list of to-dos. And the to-dos is a reference or a relation that's two-way to the to-do model. To-do model looks a little bit like this. We have a description, a completed Boolean, and then we have that reference back to the user. So if we switch on over to editing content and we have a look at our list of users, we've got a few different users here. If I edit the last one, and this is what we created before with the email jamie+demo1@graphcms.com, we've now got a relationship to our to-dos, and this is what we added from the front end, and we have that all-important bio. Now if we head on into the GraphQL is awesome entry, and we toggle the completed as true, and we save that, you can think of this as a database almost for your backend, but written in GraphQL. If we head on back to the front end now, you'll see SWR has refetched the data from GraphCMS from the API endpoint. And you can explore how all of that works and how it's set up inside of the code, and that's on GitHub, and I'll leave a description. I'll leave a link in the description for you to check that out. So this is GraphCMS with user-generated content. This content is, you could think of paywalled almost. You have to authenticate to edit your profile. You have to authenticate to manage your to-dos. So hopefully this is interesting and it gets you going with GraphQL, or at least kind of migrating some of your content to GraphQL. And feel free to let us know what you think.